I would like you to use Excel when you do your homework, and I wanted to take a little bit of time here to show you how best to do that. First of all, you'll put each problem that is assigned on a sheet of its own, okay? So let's say that our first problem is a problem that doesn't have any graphs or charts on it. It's just a pure type in some text to answer the question. What I would do is for sheet 1, let's say that's my first problem, I will go to Insert Shapes and get a text box. That's that first one. Pull that thing across there like that, and that gives me a cursor up there, and I can type in my answer. Now, of course, this is gibberish, but you'll type in the real answer to the problem requiring only text. Now that I've got that done, I right-click on that sheet 1, go up to Rename, and I say 1-1. That's chapter 1, first problem. That's all I got to type in there. Everybody knows what that is. All right, now let's go to the second problem. Let's say that the second problem, we're going to the next sheet now for the second problem, requires a graph. And we have to start off by showing something on a graph. Now there's three ways we do graphs. I have two other videos on graphs. One is doing a graph when you have data. The other one is doing a graph when you have a formula. And this one will be just drawing a concept graph where there's no data, there's no formula. I'm just trying to show in general what happens. So I could do that, say, for a supply and demand situation. So the way I do that is I go to Insert Shapes, and I get a line here, line tool, and I put it where I want to start it. I hold the left hand on the shift key, and I pull that down, and that gives me my vertical axis. Now we go back and do it again. Now we're going to go horizontally, hold the shift key down. Okay, so I've got the axes now, the vertical and the horizontal. I could label those. Let's make that first one price up here, vertical. So I just draw a text box in there and I put in a large P. Alright, and that's for price. And then we do another one over here for quantity. So that's given a label to what we're doing here. The quantity is increasing along this axis. Price is increasing from here up on this axis. Okay, this is the beginnings of our supply demand curve. Now to show the supply and demand, I go back and I pick the line tool again. And this might be my demand curve right across here. This time I didn't hold shift key down. That's only really necessary when you want to draw one perfectly straight up or perfectly horizontal. So when you're going at angles, you can just free draw them in. Now here's the next one, next line. I'm going to show the supply now. Looks something like that. There's the supply. Let's put labels on those. This is supply. Put S for supply. And we'll put another label in here and insert shapes, and we'll get another text box. And we'll put in a label here for demand. Alright, and so we've got the makings now of a concept trying to demonstrate something. Perhaps the problem says something like this, that the income in the country has increased. What would happen to demand? And demand would increase, okay? It would shift, all right? Anytime something other than price changes, the demand curve and the supply curves would shift. In this case, it's the demand curve that shifts. When you increase income in a country, there's more money to spend. Therefore, there'll be more demand for product. All right, so I put in another line. And I show the second line here, like that. And that is the effect of income on demand. Income increases, demand increases. It shifts. Now, to help demonstrate that, let's pick an arrow, and we can show that demand has increased. It shifted from here to there, okay? So that's how I would draw my concept. Now, in this one here, I may have to have some text as well to answer the question, but I'm demonstrating my answer with the concept graph, and then down here I put in my answer. I get a cursor here, and I show when income income increases, demand shifts to the right. Okay? So then I type in my answer. That's my answer, let's say, for this imaginary problem. Now I rename it. I right click here. I rename it to 1-2. Alright, that's first chapter, number 2. Okay? So that's a way to do your homework. And you'll look at a couple other videos to show you how to do charts with data and charts with formulas. Okay? So any questions on this, please let me know.